Hey, you guys. My name is Gary. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and drug addict. Let me plug something real quick. I want to plug a great foundation, the impactfoundationla.org. Please go on there and donate. This is a new foundation designed just to help people. And it's growing its wings, and it needs your money. Donations enable to fly, to enable it to fly. So please go on impactfoundationla.org, hit the donate button, give $1, $5, $100, $1 billion. So it's going to a good cause, you guys. It's designed to help people in need, and people that want recovery, psychiatric care, grief counseling, and people that need it and can't afford it. So I got to tell you about something cool that happened. Today was a really tough day for me. As many of you know, I lost my son 6 weeks ago. Tomorrow it'll be 6 weeks to an accidental fentanyl overdose. And, I can't even describe the pain that I'm walking through right now. I got up early this morning. I got on the freeway to go to work. It's about a 30-minute drive, and I just bawled the whole way there. And I wasn't taking a walk in Gary's bad neighborhood. I was just missing my son, and I was thinking about, the last time I saw him, and thank God, the last time I saw him was I was driving trucks at the time, and he was living in New Jersey, and I had spent Christmas with him, and then I was intentionally taking routes to New Jersey, and I took one in February, and I picked him up from work, and we went to dinner, and we actually, it was a bad night, and we got in an argument about, who knows, we argued all the time, but he ended up getting out of the truck, and I couldn't pull into his neighborhood because I was driving a long 40-foot trailer, and he got out of the truck, and he was pissed, and I was pissed, and I thought to myself, because I lost a woman that I was in love with in 2005, and it really occurs to me, like when I say goodbye to my kids and my family members and people that I love, that you really never know if that's going to be the last time you see them. So it really bothered me that we left on those terms. I mean, and more than usual that day, because he just wasn't doing well. He was drinking hard, and I don't think he was on drugs, but he was drinking real hard, and and I wasn't sober either. But on that particular evening, it was very cold, and it wasn't snowing. There might have been snow outside, but I just remember it was really cold. I had to sleep with the truck on and the heater going, and I was like, I'm not leaving town. I was supposed to be in another state by morning, and I just remember thinking, I'm not leaving on these conditions. It hurt my heart too much. So I remember calling him early in the morning, because I knew he had to be at work. I just didn't know what time. So I kept calling him like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And I was leaving messages, hey, dude, get up, man. Let's go. I'll take you to work. I stayed in town, and I'll take you to breakfast, then take you to work. So what happened was I was putting my last phone call into him, because then I had to hit the road, man. It was like 9 a.m., and so I called him, and he didn't answer. I left a message, man, I got to leave town. I just know I love you, right? And he called me right back as I was pulling away, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. So I picked him up. We went to breakfast, and it wasn't like, some fucking great, breakfast. We were kind of quiet with each other. I was trying to be happy, and he was trying to be friendly. And we had breakfast, and I remember I dropped him off at work, and that was the last time I saw my boy. He died from a fentanyl overdose 6 weeks ago in Long Beach, California. And so today was really, really hard. I got on the freeway and I was just bawling all the way to work. It's about a half-hour drive, and I actually got off the freeway a few exits before I'm supposed to get off, and I was thinking, you need to either put yourself together or you need to call in sick, because you can't fucking go into work like this. And guys, don't start. Do not start. Go up. Don't start. Oh, God. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to fucking kill him. So, I'm thinking to myself, come up here. Come on. Sorry, you guys. So, I'm thinking to myself, you can't do this. You're going to have to turn around, or, So I put it together, and I was like, I psyched myself out, like, you need to fucking just nut it up and fucking go to work. So I did, and I work with a really good guy. We open the place, and we open the office, and we get in early, and we get the crews out and all that stuff. And so I told him it's not a good morning, and he probably saw my eyes were puffy, and I wasn't doing real well, and that's okay. He's my friend. But it was a hard day, man. Just trying to keep that stuff inside. And then I guess it was about 11 a.m. I get in between 6 and 6:30, and then about 11 a.m. I had to go by a job. The job was about 10 minutes away. I got in the car and just fucking started bawling, man, all the way to the job site. And then rubbed pulled the tears out of my eyes, got out of the truck, and just nutted it up, and was on the job, trying to deal with problems. And, I've been doing this for 38 years, and I'm not Superman or anything like that, but these are problems that I should be able to solve, that I would usually be able to solve like that. And, I was just walking around the job going, this is too much, this is too much to deal with. And I was, I dealt with it, but what was going through my head and my actions were two different things. And that's because of sobriety. I'm sober, and I have responsibilities, and even though I didn't show up 100%, I showed up. And that's the important thing. So I got a guy that owns the company, and he's paying me good money to go out there and do a job every day. And, I'm doing the best I can. So, and there's people in the company that need direction, and there's problems on job sites, and there's contractors that need things done, and it's extra challenging right now, because I'm not firing it on all cylinders. So, because of the program, I'm able to do that. So I got to tell you what really cool thing happened. So I get home, I call my mom on the way home, and Mom's a safe person to cry to, and I just told her, my mom's 80 years old, and she gets mad. She's 79. Like, it's a big fucking difference, right? So my mom is 79, and she's a cute little fat Italian lady, and she was a safe person to tell her why I was sad today. And so I cried to my mom, and I'm 56 years old, and it felt good to do. So yeah, it felt good to cry to my mom and say, Mom, I miss my son, and here's why. Because I still got to go to Houston. I closed my business through COVID, and I've got to go to Houston and clean out a building that my son was with me when I started that business. And him and I lived in my warehouse. We made it comfortable to live with for our living conditions, because I didn't have the money to get a place to live when I started my business. And my son and I lived in the warehouse together. We did the first job together, side by side. And I still have his clothes and shoes and stuff, you know. I was able to lease a house and then ended up purchasing the same house, and it was, you know, a beautiful home, and he lived there with me, and, you know, we tried, you know, we were both in our addiction, but anyways, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I guess I miss my son, you know, and I've got to go clean up a warehouse and deal with all that stuff and see things of his and deal with those memories, and I'm afraid of them. And, you know, my mom said, well, just don't do that right now. And I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to go, you know, the service is in November 7th, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to make it a point to take care of that stuff and just walk through it like a man. And if I need to cry like a baby, I'm going to cry like a baby. So I'm going to feel my feelings, and I appreciate that now because I'm sober. So, and so I come home, you know, I'm driving home, I talk to my mom, I do some crying, and I get home and I'm fucking exhausted, okay? I'm not complaining, you know, I get up early and I like getting up early, and I like attacking my day and all that stuff, and I was just emotionally drained. I was completely exhausted, you know, from this, keeping that emotion inside all day and then being able to release it, you know, in those certain moments throughout the day. And then it was just draining. So I come home and I'm ready to crawl into bed, and I get a text message. And this text message is from a friend of mine, and she's new to this way of life, and she's finding her way, and we're having a major windstorm right now outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but she's new to this way of life, and this is just a really cool friend that it's definitely a God introduction, you know, the way we met in the rooms of AA. And I don't know, there was just something special about her. And, you know, I don't know what she thinks. I don't know. We've never talked about it, but there was just something special about her from day one. And so she's new, right? So you got to raise your hand as a newcomer and all that shit, right? And they don't do that to embarrass you. They just do that to get to know you, so people know who the new people are in the room and stuff. And, you know, she texts me and says, I got a new meeting. I'm going to go at 8 o'clock. You want to meet me there? And I'm like, you know, I get up fucking early, but, you know, and I know I don't ever turn down AA requests like that. So I was like, I'm going to take a nap. We'll see how I feel. And I was like, damn, man, I can't miss this shit, right? So I was able to fall right asleep, you know, and I woke right up at 6 o'clock. So I fall asleep about, I don't know, maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I got my 2 hours a nap in, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make some dinner and jump in the shower, and I texted her and said, I'll be there, right? So I'm going for her, right, to support her, right? And she's got something else up her sleeve. It was very cool, right? So I get there a little bit early because I don't want her to be uncomfortable, you know. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the only one she knows, and I'm gonna get there early, 15 minutes early, and she gets there, she's got somebody to talk to or whatever, and make her feel comfortable, and we can shoot the shit or whatever. And I get there early, and the room fills up really fast, and she doesn't show. And then right when the meeting starts, I see her walk in, and I saved her a seat next to me. Not right now, Bob. I saved her a seat right next to me, but she walked right past me and sat down at an empty one. There was one empty seat in there between two people. And so she sits down, and I see her looking around. She doesn't see me. And then a kid walks in, young man, right behind her, and he sits down right next to me. Last seat in the house. And she's looking around, and then I see her turn around to me, and she looks at me, and she looks at him, and she points to him and me, and she's like, yeah, you two, you know? And I'm like, he goes, do you know her? And I go, yeah, I know her. He goes, you her husband? And I go, no, I'm her friend. And I go, do you know her? And he goes, yeah, I met her last night at some meeting, and she wanted me to come and meet her here. And I'm like, the bell goes off, ba-ding. And my friend was taking care of him and me. She knew what we both needed. So, and through all that struggle that I went through today, it was not going to be, the day wasn't going to end well. It wasn't. I wasn't going to make a video. I was just going to watch some football, eat, and go to bed sad, right? And even though I'm sad, and my heart actually aches, like physically, like my heart aches deep inside. But I have the capacity to feel joy and love. And that was a very loving act that woman did for him and for me. Because that's the way this thing works. This thing that we do, this 12-step program that we do, that I do, called Alcoholics Anonymous, that she does, that we do, it's a we deal. And we worked 3 ways tonight. You know, we all went for good intentions. My intention was to help her. Her intention was to help him and to help me. So, and I'm probably getting the most out of that whole deal, to be honest with you. You know, that's exactly what I needed. So I gave the young man my business card, and I wrote my cell phone on the back and said, call me tomorrow. And hopefully he calls me so I can get to know him. And I can introduce him to this way of life, this thing that we do. So that was a beautiful day, a beautiful deal. 17 minutes, 34 seconds, 35, 36. So let me wrap it up like this. I'm going to go to bed happy and full of pain and joy at the same time. Full of love. I felt really loved tonight. That woman introduced me to him. It was very cool. And you know who you are if you see this video. Thank you. She'll see this video. But yeah, I can't, thank you. And I'm sure that young man's going to thank you. Remember, you guys, this is what, the whole meeting was about God and the 3rd step tonight. And that's all I can get into because it was an AA meeting. But the 5-day God challenge, right? If you don't believe in God, or if you're, if you're having trouble with drugs and alcohol, or you just, you see your life spiraling out of control, or you just seem to, you can't stop, and you want to stop, and you don't know any other way of life, I'm here to let you know that there is a way out. And the way it started with me is, I got on my knees, and I prayed, God, please help make me willing to be willing. I couldn't go to sleep sober, ever. And that's God right there. Thank you. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was pretty cool. I couldn't go to sleep sober, and I would pray to God, God, please make me willing to be willing, man. And I did that for like a year, man. And I ended up getting COVID. And I was sick in bed for 5 days, and boom, I had 5 days sober. And I was like, holy shit, man, God gave me 5 days sober. And I've been on a roll ever since. But even through the tragedy, this tragic loss of my son, which I don't think I'll ever get through, I don't think it's something you get through. I just think it's something I'm probably going to have to learn to live with. And, you know, even through that, I'm able to not drink. I don't even think about it. You know, I go through my day. I never thought today, oh my God, I gotta not drink today. Never thought about it, man. Never even occurred to me. You know, or do drugs. And that's a miracle. There's a big power standing in between me and a drink. And a big power standing between me and sticking, dope in my body. So get on your knees, pray. God, please help keep me sober. And don't give up on it, man. God's not going to give up on you. Might take a while. But who knows what he's got in store for you. Ask him to reveal himself to you. He will. I promise you. He will. He did to me tonight big time. God works through other people, so ask him for the strength to go to an AA meeting. You don't have to raise your hand as a newcomer. You can just sit there and listen. But if you do, you will see the power of God work through other people. And if you find that you go to sleep sober, give God the credit. Say, thank you, God. So remember, the impactfoundation.org. I'm sorry, the impactfoundationla.org. Okay, impactfoundationla.org. Hit the donate button and subscribe here. Please, you guys, it needs its wings, and the only way it's going to get its wings to start to fly and help people is by your donations. Okay? Thank you.